Lesson 1: The Pressure Pattern Profile. Here's what nobody tells women about selling, visibility, leadership, and big decisions. The problem usually is not the action, it is what happens inside you right before the action. You are fine when you are planning. You are fine when you are organizing. You are fine when you are color coding the launch calendar like your future depends on the correct shade of beige. Then it is time to post. Make the offer, name the price, lead the conversation, make the decision. And suddenly, your brain opens 17 emergency tabs. Maybe I need to rewrite it. Maybe the timing is wrong. Maybe people are tired of hearing from me. Maybe I should learn one more strategy. Maybe I should clean the kitchen first, because apparently the kitchen counter is now directly connected to your revenue. This is a pressure pattern, and pressure patterns are important because they reveal who takes over when the stakes rise, not who you are when everything feels safe, who you become when being seen could create judgment, when selling could create rejection, when leadership could disappoint somebody, when a decision could actually move your life forward. Inside $1,000,000 Identity, we do not only ask, what action do you need to take? We ask, who shows up when it is time to take it? Because becoming a woman who can make and hold millions requires more than knowing what to do. You need the capacity to stay with yourself while you do it. You need to recognize your pattern before the pattern quietly runs your business. Your pressure pattern profile trademark starts with 4 moments: selling, visibility, leadership, and important decisions. Think about selling first. What happens immediately before you make an offer? Do you suddenly believe you need a new product? Do you start changing the wording? Do you lower the price before anyone objects? Do you convince yourself that educating people for 3 more weeks is more generous? Sometimes I just want to provide value is real. Sometimes it is fear wearing a helpful little blazer. Now think about visibility. What happens before you post something honest, bold, or direct? Do you soften the message? Do you remove the opinion? Do you save the post as a draft and tell yourself you will revisit it tomorrow? Tomorrow has been carrying a lot of unpublished content. Now, leadership. What happens before you set a boundary, give direction, or say, this is the decision? Do you over explain? Do you ask 5 people if they agree? Do you make the direction optional so nobody can accuse you of being controlling? And finally, important decisions. What happens when there is no perfect answer? Do you research until the opportunity expires? Do you wait for certainty? Do you ask everyone else what they would do, even though they do not have your goals, your responsibilities, or your vision? That is the pattern. The pattern often begins before the visible behavior. It can begin in the body. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your shoulders rise, your thoughts speed up. You feel tired out of nowhere. You suddenly crave a snack, a nap, a new certification, or a complete rebrand. The goal is not to judge this. The goal is to notice it, because you cannot interrupt a pattern you keep calling your personality. You are not just bad at selling. You may have learned to associate selling with pressure, rejection, or being misunderstood. You are not just inconsistent. You may disappear when visibility makes you feel exposed. You are not just indecisive. You may have learned that making the wrong decision means losing approval. Your pattern makes sense, but it does not get to remain in charge. Here is your exercise. Choose one recent moment when you were about to sell, post, lead, or decide. Write down what happened in the 10 minutes before the action. What did you think? What did you feel in your body? What did you suddenly want to change? Who did you want to ask for permission? What did you do instead of the original action? Be specific. Do not write, I felt weird. We are retiring weird as a complete emotional diagnosis. Right, my chest tightened. I wanted to lower the price. I opened another training. I rewrote the first sentence 9 times. I asked someone who was not involved in my business what they thought. That is data, and data gives you power. Your pressure pattern is not proof that you are incapable. It is proof that your nervous system has a familiar response to higher stakes. The $1,000,000 identity does not wait until every uncomfortable response disappears. She learns to recognize what happens, she names it, and then she chooses who leads next. Today, do not try to fix the whole pattern. Catch it once. That one moment of awareness is the beginning of self-leadership. And once you know what happens under pressure, you can finally identify the boost you make next.